keep calm, just keep cool, and you're gonna be all right. Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, it's time for War 6 of the season. For Loki, we beat the first place Alliance, GT40, who has won Alliance seasons the last 2 seasons in a row. They're awesome, but we were able to win. We did it. We're feeling great. Going up against Salty, another awesome Alliance. We've got 6 fights for you, including a boss fight and a mini boss fight. But the key one, the one that I was most excited about, most nervous for, most pumped up on, is a fight against Kitty, but we got to get there. We got to get there. Starting off with this fight here against Warlock. You know, I've noticed a pattern. I don't have many deaths on the season, but the ones I have been with me bringing in a champion that I have not used in War that season. And in this case, I'm sure I have used Corvus in War, but I think he was probably a 5-star. Like, that's how long ago it was. You're going to see that come into play here. So we've got this buff and balance, power drain, blood in the water, divine barrier. Frequently, a fight like this is taken by a champion who cannot be power drained by Warlock, right? So we're talking about like Venom Pool. You're going to see why here, right? Like I said, I'll show you guys all the fights because we can learn. We can learn from them. We have some fun with it. So I think it's pretty clear something's going to go horribly wrong. But this global, this is tier 1 war, Masters war. We're in Masters first place right now. You can't always bring in the ideal counter. And so it's up to us, the players, to execute the plan. The plan was good. I just need to get to my special 2 here and watch. You're going to see, if I remember correctly, he's going to get the global trigger here. He's going to go unstoppable right as I'm getting prepared, and I'm going to miss a parry. Yeah, that completely threw me off. You can see my power is getting drained. Right here, I actually have 2 bars of power. If I was a more experienced Corvus player, I would have thrown the SP2 there, and then I'm going to make another mistake from not being an experienced player. At this point, I'm just trying to get the fight over with. I'm going to use all of my I'm going to do a 5-hit combo here, throw the SP1. I guess the 5-hit combo comes here because I was still hoping I could get to my SP2. Through the SP1, I thought that would finish him. When it didn't, I honestly just assumed I was out of charges. I should have looked. I should have. But I will fully admit, I'm not an experienced Corvus player. One of the easiest champions to use in the game provided me 2 opportunities to take care of that fight, and I flubbed it. I just did. It is what it is. And I know I still got to take that really tough fight against Kitty. I got to take Sasquatch on 26, which we're about to see. And I got to take the boss, the main boss, and a mini boss. I don't have time to be feeling sorry for myself. So, you know, showed the fight in global chat. Everyone was actually really nice, you know, their version of nice. But they gave me good advice, and it was just basically like, look, you obviously aren't an experienced Corvus player. You had opportunities. Here's how you learn from them. So here we go. Okay. Now, if you've been following the channel, you know this fight has become a real evolution for me. I think I did die to it once, if I remember correctly. But I've really come full circle, as they say, but it's really a 180. He's got the unstoppable armor, and at some point that timer will cross over with window opportunity. Stun, there's this blood in the water, but the real problem is this defective defense. Blocking attacks is going to apply that disorient, which is going to reduce my defensive ability accuracy. It's also going to give him, I think it's like block penetration. I don't remember exactly what it is. There's no point in going back. The point is that when he hits into my block, he's going to do a lot of damage. The death I had was he hit into my block, I think, like 4 times. He just absolutely obliterated me. So I'm going to play really aggressive. I'm going to hit into his block when I can, get my ruptures up. I'm going to make sure that I am refreshing my wither. That's what the dexterity there is. And yes, eventually the timers will cross over, but this first time, I know for a fact that they are down. So it is down right now. I can parry him, I can stun him, I can get my wither up. Not my wither, sorry, my exhaustion, which means he will not be gaining his Wrath of Tanarach charges. Just that simple switch has allowed me to be significantly more aggressive in this fight, as you're seeing. I guess I parried there. I really feel like Dex and parry has been very off for me the last 3 or 4 days or so. I don't know how to explain it. It just feels way more off than normal. Maybe it's the process of getting fixed. I really don't know. I'm not going to speculate, but that's how it's felt for me. And then also, if you really are used to it, you can notice that he doesn't have the stun back. I can't think what it's called, timer up. Like he has it now. It's a red passive. So you really can't look for that. Take your eyes off of the cooldown timer. Look for the big red passive. And if it's not there, you're fine, right? So as you get comfortable with the fight, at least for me, as I get comfortable with the fight, I know I'm fine. I think he's going to go into Wrath here. I'm a little bit behind, like most of you have been having a lot of fun with Battlegrounds and getting stuff done. Yeah, I thought the SB2 would get him down. It doesn't. And then I think he's going to go into Wrath. I'm almost positive he does. Yeah, here we go. And I think I got an intercept. I thought I made one more mistake, but I got the intercept there. So yeah, I mean, that fight goes, it can go very smoothly, you see. And then it's like any other fight. As you get comfortable with the mechanics of the defender and the node itself, it doesn't need to go by in a minute and a half. If it stretches out a little bit, you know what to do. At least that's my experience. So that fight's on. It's not a nothing for me anymore, but if I see it in the future, I'm not spending a lot of time on it. I'm probably gonna do one duel just to refresh myself on the mechanics of Sasquatch and his hit, and then I'm just going to take the fight. I feel very confident. Now this is a fun one. All right, so it's Spite and Rise to Power. Obviously Miguel is going to turn off Spite because he doesn't gain buffs. I don't need to worry about that. The problem is this: if you parry stun or you stun Kitty Pryde, she's going to gain her prowess. If you crit, she's going to gain her prowess. If she gains too many prowess, she's going to phase. Bad things can happen. And now the way to get rid of her prowess, right, is to get her to throw a special. But in doing a duel, I noticed one time her prowess didn't go away. It caused me to read through her description in detail, and I noticed this. She actually needs to hit you or hit your block with the special in order to lose the prowess. So my plan was I'm going to hit her block a lot. It's going to increase my rupture count. I'm going to do a lot of damage that way. I probably could kill her just with that. But if she's not wanting to play that way, or if I just see openings, I can take them. I'm just going to keep an eye on her prowess, make sure it does not get too high. If she starts to phase, I'm going to play it like you saw me 2 or 3 wars ago. I don't remember which, but I took her with a Nimrod. I knew she's going to phase. You do not want to hit into her phase, right? That's clear. I think we all know that. But she's also not hurting you, right? So you can just kind of hang out, stay close to her. And then eventually, because she's not able to dash forward, she will not phase. We're going to see that play out right here. So this was one of those weird situations where I was very happy to not be critting, but it was cool. She's not gaining prowess from it. I can hit into her block. I'm getting my rupture count out, getting her pretty close to her single bar power. You saw the rupture damage that came from her crossing the bar power. And then watch, I let it hit my block. Mike pointed out you definitely can dex the last part in case you're like really low on health or something. It's a really smart tip. But for this case, I'm just going to block it all. It's fine. But if I was low on health, you bet I would try to dex those last few parts. So here we go. So here she's now phased. And watch, this is just like, keep calm, just keep cool. And you're going to be all right. Go in there. And then should just land my SP2. And I think this one ends. I'm pretty sure it ends at 4. Yeah. So really nice, really simple. I'm not saying that Miguel is like the best counter to Kitty, but he turns off part of the node. I was able to do some practice. I'm comfortable fighting Kitty, and that's a way to do it if you need to for war. Like we talked about, you're not always going to have like this ideal perfect matchup type thing. So here we go. Now we're going in. This is going to be Unstoppable Armor, Aspect of Illusion, Kinetic Transference. Corvus has a charge now. The whole concern, and this is why I was assigned to bring in Corvus to begin with, is that, with the Unstoppable Armor from the global, this Silver Warrior is going to be gaining armor like crazy, which means so many opportunities for him to go unstoppable. So basically, I'm going to put on this SP1, this Advanced Power Boost. I don't really enjoy the fights where you let yourself get hit on purpose unless it's Magic who has Limbo. So I'm just going to get to my SP2 as quickly as possible, basically have my eyes closed, land a couple of parries, and watch this. It's over. So you can see why I was assigned to bring in Corvus, and we took a fight where it wasn't necessarily ideal, but it was doable, and that's my job as the player to get that done. So it was a fine assignment. It was fine. It was good. You can see the reason for it. Oh, this fight. I forgot that this was this war. All right, this is another really cool one. We're used to seeing Mangog on the improved power gain mini node, right? I mean, I'm doing that fight in my sleep these days. This was definitely different. We got to talk this through. So you're going to see me forget. This is the part of the node I forgot because I've never taken this before. When the attacker reaches 1 bar of power, the defender gains a vigilance buff, preventing attacks from missing for 10 seconds. But then there's this other part. When a buff on the defender expires, if the attacker lands a heavy or special attack with 4 seconds, the defender is faltered for 4 seconds. So the advice was just to parry and heavy as much as possible. I didn't fully understand though that's all I was supposed to do. And you're gonna see this work out really, really well when I was just sticking with parry and heavy, right? We're gonna handle Mangog's power gain through that because we're gonna have our Wither. Of course, I'll need to dex at some points to refresh that. but we're landing the heavy, which is landing our exhaustion. So watch this. And then we're not getting the falter when any buffs are expiring. And you're going to see that happen here a few times. So let's watch this. A few falters will start to come up. I know they eventually do. I remember this very specifically. So there we go. So he's got the vigilance now. He had that armor up buff from the node, from the global. He then got the vigilance. I've been parrying and heavying, so he got the falter. Now, watch this though. Here we go. It's coming up here. So he's got the falter and there was a miss. I actually didn't want that miss happen. And I'm like, oh, big brain move. Totally get the falter on myself because I stopped doing the parry heavy. I'm not paying enough attention to what's going on here. Now he's got the vigilance again. And I'm thinking, well, if he gets the falter, because now I'm starting to catch on. If he gets the falter, I'm going to play into that. I'm going to let him take a swing and a miss. I'll use it as an opening, right? It's like playing Ebony Maw. And watch this. I'm just going to... He's just going to smack me. Oh, no, that's not it. That's not it. Here it comes. He's going to get a falter, but he's going to have vigilance while he does it. And I forgot about the vigilance portion. Here it comes. Come on. I know it happens. There it was. Was that it? No, it's coming. It's coming. Yeah, this SB2 doesn't finish. There he goes. He's got the vigilance. I should have paid attention to that, but I don't. I land the heaviest, which gives him the falter, and boom. I was so proud of myself. I was like, oh, I'm going to use this opening and I'm going to destroy him. And then he just honestly smacked me upside the head. It was, you know, it is what it is. It's fine. Luckily, it's a learning experience. You boost big. Spider-Man 99's got resistances. Like, the fight was clearly never in trouble, but it was kind of a funny learning experience. If I see that again, I won't make that mistake again. So if you see that fight, you take that node. Remember, they can get a vigilance. Don't just assume that the falter is going to see you through. And then you guys have seen this fight quite a few times. It's a really fun fight. I feel very, very comfortable with it. I took it in the off season. I believe I took it once this season too. I can see why Nimrod is placed here, especially if the opponent is banning Herc. But the thing is, though, is Miguel. Miguel is just so versatile, right? It's a boss fight, so that means there's going to be True Strike on the node itself. I'm going to put on Recoil Tree, which is right, the bleed and poison masteries there. And I think I SB1 boosted. I should have instead of invulnerability. I was also tired. I think it was getting pretty late in my evening, daylight savings time. I was a very tired person. So I was like, I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm not going to try to evade anything except for his unblockable specials when they're unblockable. And I'm just going to play not fancy at all. Probably a little over aggressive because I have that 75% damage reduction. And then, like all of these, it's a boss fight. It's a little bit longer of a fight. Get to the special 3. Get to the special 3 because he's gaining armor. And then with the global, the unstoppable armor, there's plenty of opportunities for him to go unstoppable. It would take unstoppable. There's plenty of opportunities for this fight to go sideways, but a lot of those things would have to happen in succession for this to come out in a loss. And as long as I'm keeping up enough debuffs, the SP2s will start to hit definitely hard enough. So I've got the slow up there off the SB3. You've heard me say it a bunch of times. It's a 25-second slow. It's a 25-second slow. So via refreshes and things, we should be able to keep that up plenty of time. And so right now, I just want to build up to my SB2 to get that wither back up. Once I get the wither back up, then hitting into Nimrod's block will apply those ruptures. I can start getting the rupture damage going. And I've really got all the recipe. The whole recipe's there for a nice, smooth boss solo, right? We've got the slow up. Ideally, I should have kept up the first wither. That's very much doable, but you know, it is what it is. You saw I purposely showed the score here before this fight. Deaths-wise, we were pretty close to each other, but we had a substantial lead in the kills. So I'm not going to pretend that there was a ton of pressure on this fight. There really wasn't. I knew we'd come through. And like I said, I've done this fight many, many, many times. And there you go. That is good. We only had 3 unique debuffs on Nimrod at that point. We saw the amount of damage that Miguel's SB2 can do. Obviously, if we had like physical vulnerability up and the exhaustion, that SB2 is going to do even more damage. And then you see that my slow fell off, but I tried to end the fight anyway, and he got me there. But then we got him down. So overall, good war. You know, deaths I feel like are up across the board. They're going to happen. I don't like them. I'm not trying to say like, it's fine. But, you know, it happens. you got to pick yourself up and get back to it. My alliance didn't, needed me to do that, and so that's what I did. Feels good though to get redemption within the same war, to be able to get all these fights down, the boss down after having a death like that. So yeah, really looking forward to it. We're having a great season. We're already on to war number 7 right now, where I've already done a couple fights. Congratulations to Psycho Billy, Ares God of War. Nice to see those names up there. Billy's in my own BG. Ares is a long time friend, MCoC friend, like, I don't know, season 10 probably in this game, maybe even earlier. PWF, always awesome from representing BG2. And let's go ahead and take a look at the season stats. All right, always start with the most important stat, which is for Loki 6-0. I mean, you can't get better than that with only 6 wars down. 36 kills, 3 deaths. Don't love that ratio, but it is what it is. Gonna keep taking the fights and doing as well as I can. 3 boss solos, all with Miguel. Gonna get a 4th one today here in probably just a couple hours. And then 5 total champions used. So I do feel like I'm using the breadth of my roster, obviously not to the same extent as last season. Miguel is an answer for just so much in this game or in war. And so we're really utilizing that, especially with that anti-venom synergy, Spider-Man 99, anti-venom. They're just handling a lot. And then I'm bringing in a variety of other champions, Moldude, Torch, Corvus, and Nimrod. You can see the percentage of fights they've taken. And we're going to be adding Apocalypse to that for next war. So pretty pumped up for that. And then my defense only has 3 defender kills. I think there's a 4th one, but because I don't have visual evidence of it, I'm not going to include it. But America Chavez can be troublesome, and so can Angela on particular nodes with this global. So great war to Salty. For Loki's obviously doing incredibly, which is the priority here. Looking forward to war number 7. I hope your war season is going well too. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.